It has only been a week, and I do have some news items for you, fresh and hot off the grill. Including a scammer is impersonating me on Facebook. Spotify Audiobooks expands its reach. AppSumo's DepositPhotos deal is back. IngramSpark launches a new website service for authors. And there's a new audiobook service provider I found, and so much more in the self-publishing news for April the 21st, 2025. Before we do jump into things, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Book Award Pro. I've gushed about them time and again. Select a plan to find your book's best accolades. Every week, see new opportunities that are a great fit. You can switch plans or cancel at any time. I personally like using the free plan for all of my books. And any of the books that I'm really needing some awards or reviews on, I will put it into the Essentials plan, which is about $19 per month. And then what it's going to do is it's going to send me targeted awards and review opportunities. And every week I'll sit down and I'll just scour through and see which ones make the most sense to me. And if I want Book Award Pro to submit for me, I can pay for a boost or I can just do it for myself. Now, if you happen to be cash strapped and you're like, I don't know about the boost, Dale, that's a bit expensive. Totally understand. You can still do it yourself. Good friend of mine, Ross Bryan, he's had over, I think he says close to 70 awards now. And a vast majority of those he applied for him with himself. And he's actually using the Pro plan and the Essentials plan for getting those types of information. But you can still get that through the free plan. You just got to do more research. Visit my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/bookawardpro to find out why I gush so much about Book Award Pro. Thank you so much to the gang at Book Award Pro. It means the world to me, your support. Alrighty, speaking of support here, this is not very supportive that these folks are doing this. Yep, I am being impersonated. I actually launched this back on Friday. I had discovered the third complaint about a scammer that was impersonating me. I had received one via email, but unfortunately I didn't have a link that I could go look at. I didn't have any contact information. I had a second person reach out to me and read me for filth because they thought it was actually me that scammed them. They were like, hey, how dare you? You're so unprofessional. I paid for this meeting. You didn't show up. And I'm like, I didn't. You don't have an appointment with me. And unfortunately, they just gave me some screenshots of just stuff I couldn't use. And I couldn't get an exact answer until last week. I had somebody reach out to me via email, gave me the link, gave me more details. And essentially, this is how the scam works. What they do is they go and they find an influencer, somebody that is a decent enough following, and they will create a Facebook profile with all of your information. So they took my name, they took my pictures, they even took a book promotion, and by the way, they took the wrong image and put it in there, so it looks all pixelated and stretched out, looks like garbage. And then they just sent a lot of fake followers to pretend like they were actually being followed by somebody legit. And then they posted a bunch of things which they just copied and pasted from what I have. So what they did was they built the trust based on my trust. And then now what they're doing is they're going through and they're DMing various authors trying to sell services. Now, spoiler alert, this is something I shared inside the video this past week. I do not currently offer coaching and consulting. I don't know when it's going to come back. I'm not interested in bringing it back. I'm sorry. That's just the breaks. There's been a number of you authors out there that really want me to get back into coaching and consulting, but I don't do it unless I feel like I'm ready to. And since I'm in the midst of trying to launch a 12-book series and pivot my book or my brand to writing fiction in October, I got a lot of stuff to do. So I'm not offering any coaching and consulting services. I don't hire out for those types of things. In other words, I don't outsource. It doesn't mean like you get a hold of me like, hey, Dale, I need you to help me out with book marketing. Okay, I'll do it for you, and then I hire somebody up. No, it doesn't work that way. I don't do it. Okay, you want any recommendations? Watch any of my previous podcasts or listen to those. Watch any of my videos. Join me over on my Discord community. Either way, I will tell you that the places and the sites that I do recommend and suggest, but I won't ever reach out to you via DM trying to sell some type of services. And if I don't know you, if I don't personally know you, I will not DM you. I'm sorry. Them's the breaks. If there's been like a fantasy of yours where you're like, I wish Dale would reach out to me one of these days via my email inbox, I just don't. Now, if you happen to reach out to me, sometimes I do respond, but usually I will send you over into the Discord community where I'm able to carry a real conversation in a public forum. I just feel really weird about doing private messages with people because sometimes it can be taken out of context, so I don't bother with those types of things. But here's the thing. I have this Facebook profile. I shared this through my entire platform. This includes everywhere. Twitter, YouTube, both channels. I posted videos, Discord, you name it. I hit everywhere. My email list, Substack, that type of stuff. Bunch of people went and reported this profile as being fake, and guess what profile's still up today? The fake profile. So I need, if you guys can, if you haven't already done this, please go and watch the video. There's a link to that fake profile. Please report it as fake. It would very, very much make my day if we can take this scammer down. Now, with that selfishness out of the way here, folks, the first piece of news is Spotify expands its audiobooks offering to listeners in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein. As the world's most popular audio streaming subscription service, Spotify is committed to expanding the audiobook industry, enabling more listeners than ever to discover and engage and in paving the way for future innovation. We saw early adoption of podcasts and audiobooks in Germany, with labels and fans embracing both formats. Recognizing this potential, we spoke to our users and began innovating and building podcasts globally. There's always a strong appetite for audiobooks across German-speaking markets. With millions of people enjoying audiobooks on Spotify in Germany, we're excited to enhance this experience by providing a premium experience for our users of Spotify individual and duo or family plan managers. Today, we're launching an enhanced audiobooks offering in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein. Eligible premium listeners in these markets will access over 350,000 audiobooks, including titles in German, French, and Italian. So, Spotify continues to expand its reach. This is really good, especially since we need to have a good, viable competitor to Audible. But I have shared some of my reservations when it comes to Spotify and how they've run things over Findaway Voices. So, I'm very much optimistic, but I'm also very cautious about my optimism because Spotify has burned us in the past. So it's good to see them expand. I just wish that they would just, stay on track and not go the path of audiobook creation exchange. Moving a little further forward, AppSumo. This is a platform, a marketplace for different deals and such like that for entrepreneurs. I've bought a lot of their packages before. I've probably thousands of dollars of deals that I've done through AppSumo. One of them that's running right now is DepositPhotos. Now, if you're not familiar with DepositPhotos, it's essentially a royalty-free image asset site. So if you are doing your own cover design, if you're doing social media marketing, if you need to get some images for inside your book, things like that, you can pick them up through DepositPhotos. Now, normally, the licensing for those types of images can cost anywhere from $1 to $5 or more, whereas if you get this lifetime deal through AppSumo, they'll give you 100 credits for only $49. Yeah, $49. You can use the credits all at once if you want to. You can use them one at a time like I do. For instance, I stocked up, about a few years ago with the number of those licenses, so I still have dozens of credits for this. So there's no need for me to buy the DepositPhotos deal this time around, but I would recommend that you go ahead and take a look at that. That's dailylinks.com/DepositPhotos. And here's one. You need to act fast on this one. I just got news about this. $5. There's an exclusive $5 coupon to the first 100 purchasers with the code HIGH-QUALITY-PICS. That's capital H, high, capital Q, quality, capital P, picks. So high quality picks, that'll take $5 coupon off the purchase. That's the first 100. I don't know if it's already been used, so proceed with caution. That's 10% off. I mean, you can't beat that at all. So go ahead and take advantage of that and get stocked up on your DepositPhotos. And this is the news coming out from IngramSpark. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you verbatim. A special offer for IngramSpark authors. Establishing an author website is crucial for self-publishing authors as it serves as a central hub for showcasing your work and engaging with readers. It offers a professional platform where you can tell your story and build your personal brand. Now you can launch your author website in minutes with Tertulia for authors. Just enter one of your ISBNs to get started. An author website supports your self-publishing journey by showcasing your work, enhancing discoverability, facilitating direct communication, and providing sales opportunities. You can now launch a professional author website in minutes with Tertulia for authors. It's a new website builder designed for authors. Simply enter the ISBN number of one of your books, and all your books and reviews will be instantly imported into a beautiful author website, complete with bio, major retailer links, and email sign-up. If you'd like, you can easily customize the site by choosing different layouts, themes, color palettes, and fonts. No tech skills required. Exclusively for IngramSpark authors, you can save 30% with annual subscription to Tertulia for authors. That's just $6.99 per month, $6.99 to note, and comes with a free .com domain registration for your first year. Not ready to commit for a full year? You can save 10% with a monthly subscription at $8.99. I've not had the time to go through and explore this one right here, so proceed with caution. Sounds really cool that you can just take an ISBN of just one of your books and it imports all of those. That would make life a little easier. So if you happen to be an author that has about $6.99 per month to plunk down for a website, then this might be the option for you, and especially since they're going to give you the domain name along with it for the first year. So that's really cool. All right, I just had a conversation this past week, and I want to share it with you eventually here. But it was with one of the representatives at a company called AMPlify Audiobooks. And Becky is her name, and Becky sat down with me for a podcast interview to talk about audiobooks. And I'm like, wait a second, you got an audiobook publishing platform? And she said, yes. I was like, give me all the details. I want to hear more about it. So I'm going to give you this information here, folks, with the understanding that it's not an endorsement. This is just me showing you an option that you can go ahead and investigate yourself, because Lord knows we need to have more options out there. So here's some more details from Becky. Overview of AMPlify Audiobooks. It's a direct sale platform offering way higher royalties and way more control. For indie authors, there's a one-time only account setup fee of $399. Okay. Monthly maintenance fee per account, not title, is $3.99. So as soon as you've done one titles or a dozen titles, it's going to, it's just $3.99. It's just that one-time setup fee that you need to sweat. They give you 65% royalties of the gross sales price you set. You set the price. That's the kind of nice thing. You can run promotions. You can do discount codes of any kind, even free. And you know who purchased your audiobook, so you can build a community. What they're in the process of leveling up the platform. So later this year, they're going to be having things like community building through author pages where they can communicate with followers, like a social media like. Host more marketing tools available for rights holders. So there's more details you can find out about AMPlify Audiobooks. There's a link inside the show notes as per usual, or you can go and visit proaudiovoices.com/amplify-audiobook-distribution. Again, visit the link inside the show notes. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. 65% royalty is pretty stinking good, although that is a substantial setup fee, so I'm sure that's going to be a big barrier of entry for a lot of folks out there. All right, a couple of rapid fire items. StoryOrigin is going to be running a webinar on Tuesday, April 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Beyond Distribution, Building a Strategic Roadmap for Success. This will be an interview with Danica Favorite of Publish Drive. Danica is a good friend of mine. I've had a lot of interviews with her over the past couple of years. She is fantastic. But you want to find out more about building a strategic roadmap for your success in distribution, you want to tune in to this particular webinar. It's 100% free, by the way. And Authors Guild is hosting a free webinar on April 23rd at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, how to book podcasts as an author. So if you want to learn a little bit more about planning your speaking topics, creating a media kit, crafting a unique and compelling pitch, researching podcasts to target and repurposing the interview as marketing content, you want to, of course, join that free webinar with Authors Guild. That is inside the show notes. I've already given you guys a little bit of details about the DepositPhotos deal that is rolling out, but I think it's worth reporting again here. If you want to get DepositPhotos, is running a killer deal. Again, $49, 100 credits. And then I had an interview with the illustrious Bryan Cohen of the Sell More Books Show podcast. As part of the Self-Publishing with Ally podcast, we talked about successful author branding. Bryan comes with extensive experience working with authors that are 6 and 7 figures. And so I really wanted to find out, like, what is that common denominator of success with all those successful authors, and how can we implement that ourselves? So go and listen to that podcast. It was a killer one. And I want to bring to your attention that I will be part of Author Nation this coming November in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yes, I can't wait for that. And there are now only 9 days and 7 hours of me recording this at the early bird price. So if you want to get it for $549.99, that's $549.99 for the entire week, it'll get you photo session to get headshots for your marketing, morning and afternoon refreshments, industry expo, 3-day author summit, admission to Reader Nation, and videos and after party. You want to get that now, and they're going to jack that up. It's the full retail price is $800. So if you've been thinking about going, now is a good time to go ahead and pick that up at dalelinks.com/AuthorNation. And real quick, this one is kind of a fun one to go check out. It's not mandatory, but if you want to see some scammers getting their just desserts, go and tune in to Kitboga's recent video, Scammers Panic Exposed, on live video. It is funny. He gets the scammer on and he calls him out, and it's a half hour. You're going to crack up laughing, but you're going to learn a lot in the process about how scammers function and their whole thought process behind stuff, because you could just see this guy just scrambling for answers. And oh gosh, but love it. Go check it out. Big shout out to Ava Fails for sharing this link here with me. I loved it. I love watching every minute of this guy getting exposed. So, and thank you to Kitboga for doing something like that. You often see him doing the scam baiting, but never touching any of our scams. Well, he finally made it over to our scams, and I'm so glad to see him just tearing these people apart. Last shout out here for the fine folks over at Book Award Pro. Find out exactly why and how I've actually received 3 book awards, and I have a nomination that it's put in for the Pulitzer Prize in General Nonfiction. Actually, it's called an entry because nomination, Pulitzer Prize actually chooses that. But I got all that done through Book Award Pro. Go visit dalelinks.com/Book Award Pro. Did I miss anything? If so, let me know over inside the Discord community. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I will catch you guys next week. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel, cast channel, and the main channel. Without your support, some would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.